So this is what the Stack It herb drying rack looks like. I've never used one before, but it intrigued me. So 6 different layers right there, all of which can be accessed by one of these flaps. Hold on, let me get it open. Gotta use both hands. So right there, and see it's all this kind of like fine weave mesh, and you can lay your leaves out or flowers or whatever you're drying in there. I don't think you could use it for heavy stuff though. Like if you put potatoes, I had saw a couple questions about potatoes or garlic. I mean, maybe if you did a fine layer of garlic, that's not too heavy, but I think it would want to weigh down toward the center. I think this is more suitable for leaves and flowers that don't have that extra bulky weight. But this way you can dry a whole bunch of different stuff with lots of room, and you keep them separate. So the best herbs to gather are ones that haven't flowered yet, because I guess the essential oils are more concentrated before that happens. And it's also a good idea to harvest early in the morning after the dew has dried. You don't want to harvest them when they still have dew, because then it's harder for them to dry out. But you don't want to do it really late in the day when it's been really sunny. We're early afternoon right now, and it's very cloudy, not cloudy, smoky. So we haven't really had a whole lot of full sun, so I think I'm still okay. Oh, it smells so good. All right, let's get some flat leaf Italian parsley next. Doesn't that look so pretty so far? So now I'm going to load up a couple of these layers and see how it looks. There's an amethyst basil that I planted in here for color. This one doesn't look so great. This is typically how it looks for me this time of year, but I might harvest, like that looks pretty good. Nice and fresh. And I'll harvest a few of those to dry. There's a rosemary right here. Stevia, it's grown really beautifully. There is a tricolor sage right there, and thyme. So I'm gonna cut a few of these things, and then I have 1 pot of mint. I wanna grab a handful of that as well. Look at that beautiful harvest just from that 1 container, and most of the herbs are still left. Looks like my mint is blooming. Oh well, we're gonna harvest some anyway. Wonder if I have any borage that's still blooming. I do. Let's get some borage flowers while we're at it. Aren't they beautiful? They taste just like cucumbers. All right, got the whole thing filled up. So let's start on the top level here. We have got stevia and then the few little amethyst basil tops that I pulled. Next layer down are rosemary stems and calendula flowers. Isn't that so pretty? Next layer is the Italian parsley. Then we've got our sweet Italian basil. Then we've got a menagerie of things. In this level, we've got the tricolor sage. Let's see, it goes all the way back there. Then we've got thyme, and then the borage flowers, and then mint in the bottom level. So I won't be leaving this out here in the greenhouse. I'm gonna take it inside. You don't wanna store it somewhere like the kitchen where there's moisture in that room. Also like the cooking vapors or cooking smells that can kind of get in here. You just want to put it somewhere warm where there's good airflow. And then here in my area, I think I mentioned that all of this will probably be dry within the week. And then at the end of that week, I'll check on everything. If it doesn't seem dry, I'll give it a few more days. But if it does seem dry, I'll go in and individually take the leaves off. They actually keep better if you keep the leaves whole and don't crush them up to store them like you find them in the spice aisle. And then you put them in airtight jars. So just like canning jars, ball, you know, glass jars that have a lid on them, or little Tupperwares or whatever, something airtight. You do want to make sure you check on them though, especially for the first little bit. Make sure that if there's any extra moisture, if you see any condensation or anything forming on the inside of those containers, you need to dry them out a little bit more because you do not want mold to form. And then depending on the herb, you can get anywhere from 6 to 12 months out of your dried herbs, which is pretty amazing.